Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to October 2018. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and the fact that you get the Knight of Cups sets the tone like just beautifully. This is an amazing card for you to get, Capricorn. Knight of Cups is someone who is very romantic in the way that he or she kind of goes about life. There is an element of idealism, a Jupiterian quality, if you will, really looking at the best of the best and seeing the best in people, seeing the best in yourself, and really just wanting the best for everyone involved, right? Everyone involved in your life and just everyone in general. Now, the Knight of Cups is also romantically oriented, and we do have this Venus retrograde going on in Scorpio, so that's like such a thing. And it does bring and highlight relationship issues, or things that need to get worked out, things that need to be rectified. Now, Venus is, she's about a lot of stuff. It's not just love and romance. There's also an element of money. There's also an element of self-worth and self-respect. And so a lot of these kind of different things may sort of become highlighted in some kind of way. But again, to have the Knight of Cups energy coming out as your fundamental core energy this month suggests that it's all good. You seem to be untouchable a little bit, where no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, there's really nothing you can't handle. And that's been the essence of the Capricorn energy for quite some time now, simply because you have just been through so much that, you've grown this really thick skin. And at this point, at this juncture, it's kind of like, well, I might as well just have a good life, right? I might as well just release and surrender. And even though I know things will still come up that are still a little bit tough, I'll still be able to make it through, just like I've made it through everything else. And that's a very empowering place to come from. So no matter what is thrown at you, well, here we have the Tower, right? No matter what's thrown at you, it's like no sweat off your back, right? Water off a duck's back, really, is what it is. The Tower, see, I always like to point out the little lightning flecks, right? These little yellow things that kind of surround the card, which are the Jewish Hebrew symbol, the Yod, right? And the Yod is connected with the Wheel of Fortune. So this card and the Wheel of Fortune are inextricably linked and connected. Sometimes in order to make room for the good fortune, in order to make room for the good things, there does need to be some change. And that's all this is. It's just a change. It's a change in your mindset, a change in your psychology. It's a change in something in your external world. There is again, financially as well, there could be some kind of setback or some kind of revision, but it's all in good faith. It's all for the greater good. The more optimistic you can be about whatever this Tower situation is, it can manifest as a fight or something with your significant other too. But again, the more optimistic you can be, the more you can be like, look, we can totally handle this. It's totally fine. We'll make it through. It's no biggie. We're mature people. We're mature adults. We can handle it. Ace of Wands reversed. Stagnation in terms of moving forward, and that's fine. I think whenever a personality planet like a Mars or a Venus goes retrograde, we do tend to feel kind of a slowdown in life, and that's one of the ebbs and flows. It's just something we all have to encounter at some point. The Ace of Wands, you might not be feeling super sexual right now too. I don't know why that really just came online, because this is a card of libido a lot of times, and sex drive and fertility and things like that. So if you're not feeling super sexually charged, that's fine, right? Scorpio is the sign of sex. Venus retrograde in there makes, it's fine. So it's time to focus on other things. It's time to focus on your dreams, right? That's, again, the Knight of Cups. This is a card that represents the Pisces archetype. And Pisces is about the dreams. It is about meditation and the otherworldliness. And because Capricorn is so kind of focused on worldly things, right? You are an earth sign after all. It is nice to kind of get out of your head a little bit and to get out of the expectations of society and the expectations of your family and all of that, and just kind of be really true to your individuality. Be really true to your quirkiness, or true to the things that you might even be like, oh, it's kind of dorky or whatever, but just lean into it. Like, just that's what you love. It's what you love to do. And it's really going to be the best use of your energy, especially in light of the Tower. You can't ignore a Tower, right? You can't deny that it happens. But the thing that I'm see Ace of Cups. See, the thing that I'm thinking is that you embrace it and you say, great, it's an opportunity for change. Let's do something with it. And look what happens, an Ace of Cups. You have an opportunity to connect with the spirituality of life, with the romantic element of life. You have an ability to maybe even meet. Now, I don't necessarily suggest or recommend meeting someone during a Venus retrograde, although if it happens, by all means, move forward with it. But that really shouldn't be your main focus. More so, it should be about repairing things, repairing connections, reconnecting with people, letting people know that you're there for them, and actually being there for them too. And just overall just feeling good about your life. And there's a health quality that comes through here as well. Doing what you need to do to ensure your health. Let's see what else comes out here. Ten of Coins. I suspect there is stuff with the family and the business and kind of your place in the community. Again, Scorpio being in your 11th house, the retrograde going from your 11th to your 10th house. So there is a focus on your part in the greater scheme, in the greater spectrum, how you fit into different, kind of groups, essentially. 10 of Pentacles, I feel as though, because your back seems to be turned on that, this is you really just beating to your own drum, right? Really turning away from everything that is expected of you and just really tapping into that authenticity. That's a word I'm going to say in every single video. Authenticity. Yeah. Okay, well, what does that mean? It just means there's no pretense. Like I said, if you are into something you think is dorky, or you think other people think is dorky, it's like, who cares? Who cares what people think? No one cares. No one cares about anything, right? Do you care about what the people that live 4 doors down from you are doing? No, like seriously, no one cares. So just do what you love. Do what really speaks to your heart. You may find yourself drifting away from your groups a little bit. You may find yourself kind of in this, I don't know, I'm feeling like it's kind of like this weird sort of limbo land a little bit, simply because you're just kind of trying to deal with that in the most positive kind of way. And again, there is such a projection from our outside world onto us, right? That we have so much stuff projected onto us on a daily basis from our just based on what city we're in, based on where we work, our work culture. I mean, there's just so many things. And I'm so happy that you're stepping away from that, because that is a thing with Capricorn. It's very, very common. It is a part of the archetype, is really having a lot of concern of what other people think of you. Now, a more mature Capricorn, or someone who's more spiritually evolved, grows past that eventually at some point in their life. And they're like, screw it. I'm just going to be who I am. But there are Capricorns that do get stuck there. They do get caught up in what everyone thinks of them, and they do get caught up in establishing their self-worth based on their surroundings and how much money they have and how much career success they have and all of this. So I'm actually really happy to see a lot of people breaking free from that. Again, a beautiful thing of the Uranus and Taurus transit as well is just really having the capacity to enjoy yourself and to enjoy life. Let's see what else comes out here. Judgment is not a surprise. I do think now is a month when we are going to have certain things be revealed to us, right? We are going to have our truths known. And look at how much blue is going on in this reading. Like, you can just look at the colors. And the blue does represent truth. It represents what actually is and our sense of knowing. So whenever something surfaces like this, it's not like we don't already know, right? If someone tells us something, or someone, wakes us up a little bit, or maybe you have to wake someone else up a little bit and kind of snap your fingers in front of their face and be like, hey, wake up, snap out of it. At the end of the day, that it's nothing that no one doesn't already know. But it sometimes does come as a harsh reality when we feel like, oh gosh, like, wow, that really is true. Or what people really think of me is true. And the Tower can have a harshness to it as well. Again, I'm really happy with how you're handling it, but it is still something you need to deal with. It is still something that needs to be faced head on. And you need to just kind of make your way through it. You can't go above it. You can't go below it. You have to go through it. And Judgment signifies an awakening, right? Or some kind of an epiphany of some sort, where you are illumined. And I think that illumination really is going to be beneficial for you and your relationships, you and your friendships, you and your career path as well. Now here we have this King of Cups here, and I think this is someone else. Could be a romantic partner. You seem to be drifting from them. I'm not sure. This could also be vice versa for some of you, and someone could be drifting from you. It's all just kind of weird and hazy right now. I don't necessarily know that there's anything that's for sure. I don't think there's anything that's certain. I think right now it's just kind of a wait and see game. Like, let's just wait and see how this all pans out. I mean, right now, I think that I'm even talking about energies that a lot of you haven't quite experienced yet. You're like, well, I don't know what that is. Well, just kind of wait for it. It's probably going to happen in the beginning of October. So you just kind of wait for it, wait for something to happen. And then when it does, you're just going to have to kind of see how it affects everybody, because it is going to affect everyone in a different way. It's going to affect you in a specific way. This King of Cups, luckily, is in the upright position. This is a card of the Scorpio archetype. It can represent someone who has a tendency to be very withdrawn, very repressed, someone that does have a difficult time really saying what they feel, really allowing that stuff to come out. Look, when a Scorpio cries in front of you, you're a really good friend, or you're really important to them, right? And that's kind of the way this is that if this person comes to you or has some kind of a message for you, or if you reach out to them because you can sense that something's wrong, and they actually let it out, please know that that's, one, a good sign that they really do care about you, and two, that it is a very, it's a cathartic thing for them. It's a process of purging, if you will, that's going to be very healthy for them. You may or may not really care so much, but ultimately you're there for them, and that's really what matters. Judgment, Ace of Swords always come out together. And Six of Swords. So it's all about truth right now. Again, Scorpio is all about authenticity. It's not going to let you off the hook, and you're not going to let other people off the hook either. We're all kind of holding each other accountable right now. You're holding someone else accountable for their truth, and they're going to hold you accountable for your truth as well. Luckily, you seem untouchable. Like, you're just kind of floating above all of this and being like, oh man, I'm just really ready to have a good time in my life. I'm just really not vibing with this too much. But I think you will, like you always do. You fulfill your duty. You do what's right, and you do what's best for everybody involved. Ace of Swords, again, can be quite harsh. So we're getting some really sharper edged things really coming out here. Six of Swords signifies a smooth process forward. However, I just talked about this in the Sagittarius video too. Whenever I saw this movie, it's an older movie. I think I watched it for the second time. It's called The Departed with Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon. And Leonardo DiCaprio is like an undercover cop, and he works, with the the Irish mafia. And at this one point, he's going to see a psychiatrist, and he talks about, he's like, my heart 99% of the time is jacked, But for whatever reason, no matter what my heart is doing, I have this steady hand. And when he said that, I really connected it with this Six of Swords card. I was like, that's really what it is, right? With the rough, treacherous waters that you're kind of escaping from. But at the same time, your mind is in this very pensive place. And it's that very real separation between head and heart. Not separate in terms of two different messages, but in terms of being able to experience both at the same time, and they don't really affect one another. And so this can cause unruliness. This can cause stress or anxiety in your life. And this is how well you handle it. And that's amazing. And I applaud you for that, because not everyone can really handle this kind of stuff so well. But because you've been thrown the tower stuff over and over and over again, you've been thrown this kind of one unpredictable thing after the next over the past 10 years, really. You have come to a point of really understanding that. And as we make our way with this Saturn-Pluto conjunction in January of 2020, which is a big deal, and astrologers and tarot card readers, we're going to be talking about it all year next year, like every single month. And we are starting to feel the tension of that in the next upcoming months. It's going to start really coming online for us. And yet the Saturn quality really gives us a great deal of control. It enables us to have this deepened concentration on our inner workings, right? That's what Pluto really represents, our underworld, our deep psychological states. And we are going to have an opportunity to really gain control of these kind of once and for all. And any unhealthy structures that we have will come crashing down, which is why this doesn't surprise me, because this is going to be a recurring theme for everybody. So you're kind of starting that process of breaking down past belief structures and really replacing them with new, better, healthy ones. And I think in many ways you're embracing that in a very healthy way, which is great. Whoa. Okay, well, we got these cards really wanting to come out. So we'll pull all of them. Justice makes sense. Look at these kind of big ones: Justice, Judgment, the Tower. I mean, these are not warm and cuddly cards. You know, they're not ones that make life easy sometimes, but justice is always good. You know, it can be merciless sometimes. So if there is someone else that has some bad karma, it's probably going to be coming to them. If you've got some bad karma, well, then maybe that's what the Tower is, right? Coming to rectify, coming to do what it's got to do. And with the Six of Wands, there is the friends quality. And when we have Mars going direct in Aquarius now for the next couple months, there is going to be an added concentration on friends and our groups and our social networks. And there are people around you that really do love and support you and who are completely 100% in your corner. And I suspect this person is very much in your corner too. You know, we'll definitely clarify this one and this one in the comprehensive reading. The King of Cups seems to be very much there for you and very much a very real support system for you. The Strength card is the separation that I was just talking about with the Six of Swords, these going hand in hand, wherein we have that ability to separate ourselves from the beast. And I always say that with the Strength card, because the lion is like this unruly, wild animal. It's beautiful and majestic, yes, but sometimes it can be very much based on instinct or connect very easily with that psychological programming and just tap into that and just run that program. And yet our higher consciousness, which is signified here by this woman, our higher consciousness needs to be at the forefront of our consciousness so that we can operate from that higher level place and to not allow the most basic instincts really control us or control our life. Because if you tap into the beast when you're dealing with a tower, you're just most likely going to have another tower situation, right? If you tap into the higher consciousness in the face of the tower, well, you'll be able to fix whatever needs to be fixed and you'll be good to go, right? Not to say you'll never have these again in your life. Of course you will. That's the ebb and flow of life. But it just won't really have a hold on you. It won't affect you, you know? Then we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is about groundedness. I love this for Capricorn too. She really represents strength. Again, reinforcement of that message, and having a lot to offer. And you do have a lot to offer. You have a lot of advice. You have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of wisdom. So there may be this drifting effect going on with the Knight of Cups, this kind of, idealistic kind of thing. And that's great. And that's amazing. But it is important for you to remain connected to people too. Right now, as always, we always need our Capricorns. You are, as much as you get a bad rap for being kind of, brutally honest, sometimes that's just really what we need, is that brutal honesty. We just need people to say it like it is, plain and simple, without any apology. And that can be really hard to come by. And we do need you for that. And with the Scorpio coming online for all of us, there will be a tendency for a lot of people to repress and to deny stuff. And I don't think you're really going to let that happen, right? This is the thing, is we're all there's a checks and balances with all the signs of the zodiac right now. Checks and balances, really making sure that everyone is doing their part, making sure that everyone is living up to their, what they can potentially be. And we're all calling people out on it. Everyone's being honest now. Everyone. We got to be prepared for that honesty too. All right. So there's lots to talk about in the comprehensive. Again, this one and this one. We'll talk about why the Ace of Wands is reversed as well. Talk about the Six of Swords and justice, and really kind of see what's going on there. So I hope to see you guys there. If not, then I will see you next month. All right. Thanks so much. Take care.